Welcome to Maxims, Contemplations, and Perspectives on Perfectionism. My name is Mario Leone, and I want to discuss and bring out the ideas behind perfectionism today. The very first piece that I want to explore is the trap of perfectionism. It's a big issue. It is indeed a trap. That being said, we need to talk about it. Perfectionism acts as both a guide and a cage. It promises clarity, but it leads to frustration. What do I mean? It manifests as the belief that self worth is tied to an end result. But it's all about mastery at the end of the day. And it's mastery of every detail, every moment, and every target. Living under perfectionism's shadow is a hard thing. It means ignoring the very essence of what it is to be human. Human nature thrives on adaptability. It thrives on imperfection. And perfectionism has a false measure. It's flawed because it's static and it's final, but it's not final, which we're going to talk about. Human beings, on the other hand, are dynamic and ever changing. We are always growing, shaping, and adapting. We are like a verb, always taking action. We're not machines. We're not finished masterpieces. There is no finish line because we're constantly growing all the time. The truth is, all human beings are flawed, and some people just hide it better than others. And that triggers some people, especially those in a perfectionist mindset. And keep in mind, it is my best idea with this audiobook to be compassionate. We need to embrace our growing, our evolving, and our healing nature. Demanding perfection denies the unpredictability and the vibrancy of our human life. And when we recognize the value of imperfection, we gain insights. We actually find data and information that support us on our journey. Insights are neutral. They require us to be objective and examine things as they are with the information that's right there in front of us. Perfectionism is deeply flawed in itself because it's static. It ignores the idea that we are constantly in motion. We're growing, evolving, healing, and always changing. Demanding perfection often leads to anger, and that anger is all about reality not matching our expectations or preferences. And this anger can go inward, impact our health, and of course, bring on depression. But when we embrace imperfection, it leads to growth. People that are afraid to try are often afraid to grow. It's a fear of effort, and that happens to perfectionists. I avoid the word try, and I prefer to say effort, because through effort and self discovery, we gain insights to adapt and improve. And this leads to more fulfillment in our lives. Because guess what? The struggle and failure are integral to understanding the human experience. It's not the failure itself, but it is attaching the failure to our self esteem. It's attaching it to our identity that creates the problems that it does. So, living as a human involves change and adaptation, not an endless pursuit of unattainable ideals, things that are always out of reach, things that are always external, by the way. The only constant in this world is change, and people who resist that change suffer deeply and emotionally. The unfinished works symbolize our very humanity. Let's take, for example, Michelangelo's unfinished sculptures. That's a great example. They're like prisoners emerging from the stone, beautiful in their incompletion. That's the thing, is some things are incomplete. And these works connect deeply with human emotion. So Michelangelo's sculptures, what they actually do is they reveal humanity's unfinished nature, the ongoing process of development. Take John Lennon's Free as a Bird, for example. It also symbolizes the ongoing process of creation. It's not that there's no end, it's that every end is nothing more than a milestone. It's not about reaching a finish line, it's not a finish line mentality. And even Leonardo da Vinci, The Last Supper, has imperfections within it. It has unfinished lines on it that actually breathe life into the work. And some art lives on the very fringe, loved by some, hated by others. As Rick Rubin says, art on the fringe can actually push boundaries. And I truly believe that. It's okay to have the courage to be disliked if you're a creative person. If it makes you cringe, and if what I say makes you cringe, that's actually good. Cringe signals stepping out of your comfort zone. Now, I'm not heaping scorn on the word. I'm just letting you know it's all about coming out of your comfort zone. And people stuck in their comfort zones may cringe at things that actually challenge them. They may shrink from a challenge. Now, nature teaches us the beauty of imperfection through the constant transformation. We take a snowflake, for example. They're unique, they're fleeting, they're changing, they're melting, and they embody the idea of impermanence. They're not permanent. And even the moon waxes and wanes. It reflects the balance of light and dark. It's much like the human soul at the end of the day. And like the moon, human nature is always changing. Hair falls out, nails grow, skin cells actually shed because we are constantly growing, shaping, and changing. And the ocean, too, symbolizes this endless cycle of becoming. Waves go in and they go out, always in a state of flux. And we become different things at different times. A leader one day, a coworker another, a spouse another. The evolution is natural and necessary for our growth. The human spirit thrives in flux, not in a static ideal. So stagnation, whether it be through lethargy or isolation, it yields no growth. There is rest and recharge, but don't resist change. Change is inevitable. Some people cling, their egos hang on to the status quo because change feels way too painful. And you know what? Perfectionism ties self worth to external accomplishments. But these external goals often lead to hollow feelings, a feeling of emptiness, of what next? What else can I do here? Now, once things are achieved, we're often left asking, what's next? The true contentment comes from within. That's self acceptance, not from chasing external things. External achievements are transient. They have a start date and they have an end date. There's a start date and end date for everything in this world. And this awareness invites us to appreciate the present and to be in the moment. We're not meant to be morose or depressed by impermanence. It's supposed to help us step into appreciation. It's a reminder to cherish the moments, cherish the people, and cherish everything that we have at that point and not take things for granted. Because appreciation brings depth to our lives and, of course, our relationships.